All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. I'd also like to give double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And I would like to say peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, to the hopeful elected in 1/3. And Adonai Tazah, this lesson will be edifying as well as exhorting to the sincere sheep of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. And the water Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakwadash for giving me the inspiration to do this lesson. And as the title reads, these debates are a ball of confusion. Okay, and I was just watching Elder Apostle Tahar's video. We are not entertainites, and pretty much when you even just wrap your head around the aspect of the debates and how they're presented and who's speaking, you don't walk away with any real edification. You actually walk away with more confusion. All right. And I originally was going to title this lesson, "This is not up for debate." So I kind of just a play on words and also an admonishment, a strong admonishment and a borderline rebuke. Okay. Because we as Israelites, we've been told by our Lord Yahweh Shai to what? Feed his sheep. Okay. And I was thinking about like the Ethiopian eunuch. The spirit he was in was like, can someone just teach me? So imagine, the Ethiopian eunuch walking in and he stumbles across a clubhouse, and then he hears the bell ring. It's like, what does he believe? What does he know? Is it Yahweh Shai? Is his name Christ? It's like, so everyone, it's like a free for all. It's a ball of confusion. And these individuals that put themselves on this platform of all knowing, if you will, they what they're doing is they're spreading their own doctrine and understanding while letting other people spread their own doctrine, and it's just causing more confusion. And there's no ground where we're all agreeing upon. Okay, this is why this is not up for a debate. This is not a Royal Rumble. Okay, now real quick, let me get you this one. This is 1 Corinthians 14:33. For Yahweh is not the author of confusion. But right here, you have a Royal Rumble. Now, what does it even say in Isaiah? For all battle is of confused noise. So, even, I grew up in the era of WWF. Okay, I'm a WWF baby. I don't know that WWE crap. No diss to any brother that still watches it, but me, I remember watching the Royal Rumbles and it was just chaos, Now, I will say they'll do a back and forth. They'll be timed, this. And who's part of this is that damn Don King, Saw nigga. Okay, he's making money off of you on Mars Hill. And now Jake is taking that same confusion from that heathen, even though he's a Jake, but he's in a heathen mindset. Okay, so now you're taking the aspects of the world and using it for a platform for yourself. That's not what we're supposed to do. We're not here to debate you. Okay. Now, if somebody comes up and it's an informal debate, well, then, yeah, we're going to contend. We're going to contend. All right. We're going to stand on the ground of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, but just to open up a platform where you're just here to debate, like I'm just waiting for someone to come up with their doctrine so that now I can speak on mine. Nah. It's like almost borderline hiding your talent, like you're only teaching because it's in a debate form. And this is what we got warned about even in the past, that was the confusion with Mars Hill. All right. Like imagine Moses wanting to debate about the laws, you get put to death. Anyways, let me see what else I got for you. It's just a quick exhortation. And Lord's will, I could do another lesson before the Sabbath ends. And, real quick, this is Jude 1:3. It says, beloved, I'll go back to Corinthians, but it says, beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation. See, we have a common salvation. We have a common goal. We have a common doctrine. It says one spirit, one faith. Matter of fact, let me get that. All right. And I'll go into the word debate too. Let me put I think it's Ephesians 1. Ephesians 1 faith. Okay. How can we be here debating if we're told that we have one spirit, one faith? All right. Look, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. So wrap your head around that as a debate. Look, Ephesians 4:4. There is one body, No, I'm gonna debate that. There's one spirit, one spirit. So how can you debate? That means one of you has the truth, and if there's 10 of you in the room, one of you has the truth, and 9 others are lying or wrong. And then when you got to think about this, in that debating, you're allowing people to go off. You're carrying yourself in a friendly manner. You're not admonishing them like, look, if you add to this word or you take from this word, you could be judged. You literally are going to be judged because everybody in here is coming with a different doctrine. They're coming with a different vibration. They're coming with a different word or taking from the word. And the end result, no matter who's debating, is someone's going to die. Okay? There's still a prophecy of 2/3. Do you want to debate that? And then they will. So you got to watch guys that have that debate demon. You got to watch that debate demon. I remember maybe a year or two ago, Hassad found himself in front of the elders and the beloved brothers out there in North Carolina, and he kept going back and forth about, I think at that time, they were prophesizing falsely about Magog, saying that they would rise up while we're in the kingdom. And then at the end of it, he stops and goes, do you eat food sacrificed to idols? It's like, bro, do you even see yourself? It's like what people call thirsty. You're like thirsty to get the box. Like, damn, bro, you don't even realize how thirsty you look. How you know. So anyways, let me go back. Okay, let me go back. Ephesians 4:4. There is one body. But so we're not over here debating. Now, can we have private counsels amongst each other if there's a question that arises so that a younger brother can get understanding? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Someone wants to ask a question, then we answer it. But it's not up for a debate, meaning a different breakdown. So you got men that are now making, I don't know if they're making monetary gain, but they're definitely pushing confusion. And the Lord is not the author of confusion. A debate is nothing but confusion. So that means Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is not in there. But there's 2 or 3 of us together. Well, it don't matter. Let's keep going. One spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism. See? That's exactly what this is all about. You have to understand that. And I know to some I'm preaching to the choir, but we still have to make mentions of these things. See, the world needs to be rebuked. The world don't need to be sat down and have a debate so they can explain why they're a demon. Okay? We're not here for you to make excuse for your sin. We're not here to give you a platform so that you can spread confusion. We're here to deliver a message before it comes to pass. That's what prophets do. Prophets don't come here to debate. Jude 1:3. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. Right. Because why? You had men speaking vain jangling, whispering. So you had to contend the doctrine when that moment arises, not just, hey, this is up for debate. Come, like, what's his name? Schroeder. Like the guys, they'll go and sit at the college campuses. That's worldly. Shane Crowder. I don't even know some of their names, but you got the Myron. He's doing that now where he's just sitting and people get to come up and say something to him. Then he says something to them. And when you have a debate, you're not coming to a common ground. Okay. When you have a debate, what you're doing is you're leaving it open to a free-for-all, and there's not a declared winner. That's confusion. And then if you don't have the Lord with you, even though you got the truth, like years ago, I think they call him Elder Rakal from GOCC. He debated what's that demon? The Edomite? Damn it! It's not Dr. Quaz Brown. It's the other Edomite, the bald-headed one. He was debating him, and basically he got confounded, which he more than likely took a bag. But that's my point. So you could be confounded, man. Okay? You calling on Christ. You could literally have the truth and understand it, and then the Lord don't give you a mouth that your adversary can't gainsay or resist, and now you just made this guy who's telling lies look like it's the truth. You see? And it says, Let me see. James White, the Edomite. That was his name. It says, it was needful for me, yes, to contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. For there are certain men crept in unawares who were before old ordained to this condemnation. Now, if they don't wake up, if they don't change their ways, if they ultimately don't repent and get in line, what you're going to realize is that they're not of the elect. See, the elect has a certain characteristic, okay? The elect has a certain role that they're gonna play when it comes to serving Yahweh B'Shem Shai, okay? And pretty much, what you look at is like the walk of David becoming king is, he had to turn and just serve the Lord and not the people, meaning that they're just the people at the time. It's a great story. I'm rereading it now, but this is the point of the walk that we're in. You can't just go where all Israel is at, because right now all Israel is a ball of confusion, man. Okay. It says, we're ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our power into lasciviousness, yuck, and denying the only Lord power and our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach. So you got some real nasty characters out here creeping around. Okay. You got some real vile vessels that are amongst you. And I'm going to just say this, a nigga will fake righteousness and act like he believes the Bible just to get the box. So you sisters, you better be warned, man. Remember, it says silly women laden with iniquity, they creep into your house. A nigga will act righteous as hell once that woman's around. So you got to be careful out here, man. These guys are playing, they're playing a part. Okay, you got to be the part. All right. Let me see real quick. I looked up, this is not for debate. Not up for debate means a topic or decision is considered closed for discussion or argument. Exactly. I've been in business meetings. All right. And I was mad because, the Lord gave me the spirit to speak, and not just jamber, actually speak to get somewhere. And I had a meeting and they basically shut the shit on me. They had, it was for the job and the contract. I had written up a whole proposal to make my life a little easier. And they said, this shit ain't up for debate. This ain't up for debate. This is what we're going to do. And then I couldn't do nothing. I either accepted it or denied it. So what I denied it. I'm good. I'm gonna deny this. But my point is, even in the world of business, you can't debate. You can't go into your job and debate your shift. You can't go and debate the boss. Even carnal, worldly men have enough power where they can't be debated. But this truth, this beautiful, pure truth, this raw. This raw truth that we've been given, the reality of us as creatures in existence, that can be up for debate. That can be up for debate. Come on, man. There's something more here. All right, so let me get this back in Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 14:33. For Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. See? So this is why we maintain order in the spirit amongst our camp, amongst the brotherhood, and guys get called out. Years ago, someone tried to slip Dan in. He ended up getting rebuked. He still didn't fall in line. They kicked him out. And then eventually he bugged out. Okay. So even amongst us in Great Millstone, starting with our elders and our apostles and bishops who taught us young men, we model ourselves as ambassadors of a Mashiach in that same fashion. If a guy's going off amongst us, hey, we address it. We do this and then it's done. It's not up for debate. You're not going to remix the song, bro. All right. So let me see what else I got for you. Check this one out. Romans 3:3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? The Most High forbid. So at the end of the day, okay, if you don't believe, it's like plain, nigga, that's your problem. That's how I'm giving it up. Okay. I'll give you some Babylon jargon. That's your problem, nigga. I'm not going to waste my time trying to convince you. All right. Now the spirit can convince the gainsayer, but it's not my job to go back and forth with you. And then you get 3 minutes, and then I get 3 minutes. No, man. And then doing that now on the spiritual side, you could potentially get demons on you, man. You could listen to these guys and get demons on you. And then now you're debating everything and you don't even realize you just debated yourself out the truth. Okay. Not every Israelite is a brother in Yahweh Shai, man. It says, the Most High forbid, yea, let Yahweh be true and every man a liar. Right. That's why in Proverbs, this is Proverbs 30 And 5, every word of Yahweh is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him. And it says, add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar. And that's what's getting ready to happen. Okay, men are getting ready to be exposed to be liars. We're over here working on the inward man. We're here working to being a better servant, better brothers, just better overall. And then you got these guys that come out in this spirited debate. They're pretty much acting as if there's nothing that they have issues that need to be addressed before Yahweh Shai comes back. That's a scary spirit to be in. Yahweh Shai said he came for those that need a physician. I need a physician. Okay, I need salvation. I need out of this body. All right, I need out of this body. I am not complacent in this sinful flesh. All right, but you got guys that are putting themselves in a position like everything is good. Everything is not good. We are sounding the alarm in Israel. Okay, destruction is coming. Fuck a debate. That's why anytime someone, excuse my language, but anytime someone comes up to camp and they want to debate, the first thought that comes to my mind is war, nigga. World War III, mark of the beast, no water, no food, no lights. What the does that debate matter? At the end of the day, this is coming. Okay? Yeah, but I just wanted to, man, you're not tapped in. You're not locked in. You're in la la land, man. World War III is going to outbreak suddenly. Lately it's been on my spirit to do a lesson about how suddenly destruction's coming because it's been a little too quiet. It's been a little too quiet. And soon there's going to be some judgment coming, man. And it's going to interrupt the comfortability of this debate, so-called community. Jake, they're in that demon of community. But judgment's coming, man. And then are you going to debate a missile? Okay. Can you debate with Esau when he's pushing that mark? Are you going to debate them and tell them that ain't the MOTB? Gee, you know what soon you're going to have to debate? You're going to have to debate the fact that you're false prophets. All right. That's what you're going to have to debate because he teaches that Captain Zariak teaches that we're in the new covenant. He told you to take the jump shot. They also don't believe the MOTB is the C-hip. They believe Bob Marley's not a Jake, but Bob Marley's music is fire. Like, come on, bro. And then you saying that, you're giving credibility to the heathen that they don't even have, Hassad and Deacon, do they believe you can have sex on the Sabbath? See the fact that I have to question that, that's confusion. That's confusion. And then Bao over here, Bao, you look like Pastor Dowell's son. I'm trying to be funny, but you do. You got to get a haircut or something. But they don't believe the MOTB is a C-hip. I think they teach Friday to Saturday. This is all confusion. All right? Extortion and confusion and fuckery. All right, let's go back. Romans 3:3. It says, the Most High forbid, yea, let the Most High be true, and every man a liar. That's why we stick to the script. That's why we don't add or take away from the word. As it is written, thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Exactly. And that's why all these people, like here in Babylon, they're going to be judged. All we got to do is tell the truth, man. Okay? All we got to do is tell the truth. But these guys that want to lie, want to twist, want to add these angles, you're confusing yourself. So now when this is actually the spotlight is put on this doctrine or on this understanding, you're going to stumble, slip, and fall. All right. All we got to do is tell the truth. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Just tell the truth. We're not here. It's not open for debate. Now we're good, man. No, we don't believe in that. Just like how businesses have the right to deny service, we have the right. We hold the right to not sit here and go back and forth with you to pretty much go into an argument. It's going to get you nowhere, man. That's why we call the cops on you. You come to camp, you better act right. You better rule your spirit. All right. Did I get this? Yeah, I got that. Let me see what okay. So like this, look, we debate thy cause. Proverbs 25:9. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor, with himself. See? So if there's an issue, let's actually go on this word debate real quick. Let's see what it means. If there's an issue amongst the brothers for understanding, then we're gonna, yeah, I got you. Look, oh, okay, thank you. I just needed to understand that. But let me see. Strive, contend. Look, strive physically with words to conduct a case or suit legally. All right, legal. So then what? We're gonna have a private discussion on this matter so that you can be edified, so we can move on and keep singing the same song with the same lyrics at the same tempo. It's not up for debate. Okay, we've been given authority. All right, just like it says in Mark, we've been given authority. Here it is. I love this precept, and let me grab that again. All right, I believe it's Mark 13. Check this out. Let me show you this. That's like, would Superman debate a human? You know, like, do kings debate? You call yourselves kings. Do kings debate? Where is that? Mark 13. Let me get this real quick. Mark 13. Let me put the red letter on. Let me see. Right here. This is Mark 13, and let's start at 32. It says, but of that day and hour knoweth no man. So you know what? You could be planning a debate date, and then judgment comes. See that? That's like you. So you've been hiding this truth under a napkin so that you could bring it out at this in particular time for this in particular debate, instead of just teaching. Just teach. You know, just literally teach. It says, and I believe like with Saw Netta, he used to pay people, you know, so there's money involved. All right. So money's the motive. All right. Which really sounds like pleasing men and not the Lord. Let me grab that real quick. Actually, I'll hold this because I want to bring some more points about debate out. And then let's go right here. Galatians 1. Watch this. Let's go to Galatians 1. And look, we're getting a lot of letters from Apostle Paul. See, we've been instructed very well through the Holy Spirit. Galatians 1 and is it 8 or 10? Yeah, Galatians 1 and 10. It says, for do I now persuade men in a debate, or Yahweh? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Hamashiach. And that's what this is. It's a friendly debate. No one's like cussing or swearing each other out, you know, but at the same time, you're being a pleaser of men and not a pleaser to Yahweh Shai. Doesn't it say kiss the son lest he be angry? So you gotta be careful, man. You're playing with literal fire. And watch, man. Watch when judgment starts coming to notable figures amongst the Hebrew Israelites. Watch when Jake is going to switch up quickly. They're going to switch up very quickly. Okay? Watch. You're going to see the real characteristics of Israelites, man. You know, and they're not as honorable as one would assume. Mark 13 and 32, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. So we don't know, all right, when that day is coming. All right. So the point is, we are supposed to conduct ourselves in a manner of every day, okay? Because we're being watched, we're being examined, okay? We're being tested, we're being purged, we're being purified. So we are cleaning like the manager is watching, all right? You know how at a job, and Jake always do that. Jake will be, there's a universal language with Jake that be talking, and then the manager come, he just stop and do the circle. He always circles to the left or maybe to the right and got his rag. We all know it, we all see it, okay? And even the manager sees it. But you ain't fooling no one, Jake. You ain't fooling no one, Jack. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. So what's most important? Bringing out the doctrine, the understanding, edifying. Oh, that's another thing. This debate, this doesn't feed the sheep. Someone say, yo, man, I was. No. You were entertained. Okay, you weren't fed, you were entertained. There's a difference. This is why it says that in Ezekiel. Come on, let's go watch them real quick. Let's go watch them. Shh. Roll that up. All right. You got a lot of worldly Israelites amongst this fold. Okay. Meaning like on the comments. All right. Is Ezekiel 31? Yeah, right here. Look. Come on, y'all. Come on, let's go watch them. Shh. Edifying. Akya. Then they always be on the comment board trying to holler at the sisters. It's a fucking day club. Man, I really try to refrain, but it's like a day club, man. And no one's pissed. No one's setting real order. Shame on you guys, man, for real. Look, Ezekiel 33 and 31. So my people come pretending to be sincere and sit before you. They listen to your words. See, we even deal with this, starting with our apostles and elders. You know, that's why the Spirit will get on guys and rebuke them in the crowd. This is the more earlier days. Excuse me, this is more in the earlier days because guys would just come up to be entertained, you know? So you shouldn't be coming to camp to be entertained. You really should be coming to camp to learn, to listen, and ultimately to be built up to teach as well. Now, not everyone is going to be a teacher, but as a brother, an able-bodied man that can have the ability to do so, that should be his goal, okay, is to be built up so that you can go and teach, not to go out and debate. And that's what these guys have done. They've created monsters of men that now just go out and yell at people and want to debate. I watch it. Not like I used to. I used to watch it a little more, but it's unseasoned. They lost their salt. It's not like 2020, 21. They lost it, but they've created monsters. All right. And now these men are out here all throughout the states just standing and wanting to debate people. They're not really edifying. That's why a lot of times they're not posting full camp. Why are they only posting, the high traffic parts of the camp? You don't even know how long they're out camping. You don't. All you see is segments. Now you see us live. You get us live from beginning to end. And if you watch it and you were there in real time, you got to see maybe an hour in someone came up, and then we might isolate that to further edify. But we're not just posting that or titling our camp, Edomite comes up and gets slain. You know, and I've watched guys do that. Wi-Fi's real guilty for that. They what they'll do is they'll clickbait their titles just to get you to watch it, you know. So now from there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to where is it? Not Romans 3, Mark, Ezekiel, yes. So now back in Ezekiel, it says Ezekiel 33 and 31. So my people come pretending to be sincere and sit before you, right in the comment section. Then they ask, gets deleted. Then they get hid. See? So now watch when the Lord deletes them. All right, because by your words, you're justified or condemned. So a lot of Israelites have been woken up to be an Israelite, just ultimately to get condemned. Bye, nigga. All right. They listen to your words, but they have no intention on doing what you say. So this is what you got going on right here. They just want to be entertained. And these guys just want to entertain you. You know, how I look. You got that? It says, their mouths are full of lustful words. Shalom, everybody. Hey, shalom, princess. And their hearts seek only after money. Oh, I didn't even know it said that in the NLT. See? Money's their game. All right? Money's the, what do you say? Money's the game. Murray's my name. You are very entertaining to them, like someone who sings love songs with a beautiful voice or plays fine music on an instrument. They hear what you say, but they don't act on it. Like these guys. All these guys learn from the elders and apostles. Okay, I believe, I don't got nothing, to say about Priest Daniel Allah. I certain men got different offices. At the end of the day, I wouldn't be in this, especially a man that comes from One West. Now being an elder, if you will, amongst the people, you got to set more of an example, so I wouldn't even put myself in that position. But all these guys learn from our elders and apostles one way or another. They can say they didn't, and I could be wrong, but majority of these men that are out here, even in the world, that try to, like, what's his name? Corey Sanders, Corey, I can't remember, what's his name? Corey Hilcom, the comedian, Holcomb. And what's this? Craig Smith. They say stuff that you hear men of Great Millstone say. So a lot of Israelites hear these lessons and then they take what they want and then use that on their platform. You got to watch these guys, man. Okay. So let me go back. It says they hear what you say, but they don't act on it. But when all these terrible things happen to them, as they certainly will, then they will know a prophet has been among them. And that's what's going to take. Because remember, it says in Isaiah that Jake ain't going to stop until the city's gone. Okay? City girl ain't going to stop being city girl till the city gone. Okay? That's what you got to understand. This is the level that the people of the Lord are within. All right? Now, I'm going to go back to Mark, but I also want to show you, okay, that the debate is also going in, is wicked. Because look at what debate is in the midst of. Let me go to it just to give you context. Okay? Look. Romans 1 and 28, and even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind. This is why we fight. Okay, we fight so we're not given over to a reprobate mind. So I want to say as admonishment for any brother or sister that may have a repetitive demon or just a demon in general, you're going to always have to constantly fight that because that could potentially show you're giving into it, if you will. You got to always fight it. I'll have Satan try to say demonic things in the midst of my prayer. So a lot of times my prayers that get sent up, you're also going to hear Aga Irka Shatan when it goes to the heavens, because I don't want my prayer being sent up with words that Satan's trying to put in my head in the midst of prayer. It's that real, So constantly rebuke. So if we got to wait a minute. If we got to constantly rebuke our own the demons that be messing with, not our own demons, they ain't ours, all right? But we got to constantly rebuke demons on our own time, in our own walk. How much more the demons that are out here running and walking around now? All right. So miss us with that. Y'all constantly getting on because we got to. All right. It says, gave them over to a reprobate mind to do the things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetous, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debates. This is why you don't give someone that's unclean a platform to discuss it, because they want to debate why their unrighteousness is okay, their fornication is okay, their wickedness is okay, their maliciousness is okay, their envy is okay, their murder is okay, their deceit, malignity, and whispering is okay. That's why you don't debate, because you're allowing them to present a case at law to be found not guilty. Wrong. This is not for debate. All right. It says full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers. Okay. Backbiting, haters of Yahweh, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. See? So this is what debate falls under. Okay. So men that are in this debate spirit, you can fall under one of these categories of demons that can be upon you. And this is why you like to debate, because you want to justify your wickedness. Now, let's end it off on Mark. Mark 13 and 34. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house. He left his house. So imagine you in the house, and then now you got to debate this squatter saying it's their house too. That's when you look at it, how, like, you got to take ownership. Okay, you got to take ownership of the doctrine. You need to take ownership of this truth. That's why I said, be ye steadfast and unmovable, and gave authority to his servants. We have authority. We're not debating our cause to you so it can be questioned. We're telling you. So we're really in the role of the leadership, the eldership, the priesthood of Israel. And we don't even boast in that. But when you look at it, when it comes down to it, according to our customs, our laws, and prophecy, and you look at it, we're the adults amongst the children of Israel in the spirit. Okay, we're carrying and conducting ourselves how Nehemiah, Zerubbabel, Ezra, when you look at our great elders and men before us that stood up, Hosea, Zechariah, all right, Zephaniah, that stood up, rebuked Israel for not wanting to rebuild, corrected Israel. Jeremiah, we're standing up in the stead of our elders, okay, as our elders are doing now, because we're standing up for the Lord. That's why when you read the commentary, David, when he fought Goliath because he was defending Yahweh Shemel Shai. So we're here to defend Yahweh Shemel Shai because we're commanded to, okay? Not that Yahweh Shemel Shai needs defense, but we are set up to what? Who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? So we do that in the fashion of edification and teaching and being examples and samples to those waking up to understand their role. Your role ain't to just go out, put a fitted on, and debate someone. And then it's an isolated situation. That's what Esau does in Christians. No. We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about like vocab. I just want to talk about bootlicking. Fucking weirdos, man. No, man, we're putting ourselves in a position of authority. Okay. It says, and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Now look at this. Let me show you this real quick. And that'll be the lesson. All right. Ain't trying to take too much of your time. Look at this. Authority means power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases, physical, mental power, the power of authority, influence, and of right privilege. Right. Now, I was watching the Elder Pastor's video, and he said it's an order. You're not to go on the clubhouse. So guess what? That's authority. So what do we do as men under our elders? We listen and take heed to the commandment. Because I tell you what, Say you want to be rebellious, and then your ass sneak on Clubhouse, you fuck around and get confounded by whack ass 100 and Tazariak. You got to take heed to the authority, man. It says, look, it says the power of rule or government. We are the government. The power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. All right, what else we got? Look, authority, a human magistrate, and the leading and more powerful among created beings, superior to man. Okay, we are superior to man with this knowledge. This knowledge puts us in God mode. Okay, like Jake says, go mode. So now that you've been given this knowledge, this doctrine, this understanding through the Holy Spirit, you are now superior to man. So if you're superior to man, you don't debate man, because this isn't up for debate, because man is vain by nature and man can't understand these things. All right, that's why it says in Sirach. Let me get that real quick. Let me go to I think Sirach 3. Okay, God mode, man. And when you're there debating, you're not embracing that because it hasn't been given to you. Okay, this is Sirach 3, and we remain humble with it. This is why we don't curious about unnecessary matters. All right, let me see real quick. Look, the greater thou art, the humble thyself. See, this is Sirach 3:21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, but that's what a debate will do. I want to debate you how the earth is 3 billion years old and it's flat. Bro, get off the line. See, now you got to hang them up. Now people are now that demon just got out there. So now people, you know what? See, when the word comes, Satan, you're literally inviting Satan. Neither search the things that are above thy strength. Right. So we just got to maintain in the song that was sung, and don't be trying to go too deep. Look, it says, but what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thy eyes the things that are in secret. Be not curious of unnecessary matters, for more things are shewed unto thee than men understand, than humans understand. So you are superior to you are superior to man with this knowledge. So why would you debate? A gazelle doesn't get to debate a lion. It just gets devoured. Okay, this ain't up for debate. That proves authority. Even in the ancient world, the man was given the woman. It wasn't up for debate. Okay, the 12 tribes, it's not up for debate. We can edify you on breakdowns, why this is Gad and that's Judah, but you coming up and trying to say Dan is in Denmark, we're not going to debate you on that. You're a bug out. But when you put that, when you got that rebellion, you don't want to take heed or order, that's where you do your own thing. So now you're not walking with Yahushai and you're out there now. Okay, so if any of these guys are of the elect, they're going to turn far away from what is they're doing now, because what they're doing now is going off. And it's just complete confusion. It's truly just complete confusion at the end of the day. So, and the Most High is not the author of confusion. So I'm going to leave it there. I pray that this lesson was edifying. All right, it was enlightening. It was comforting to Yahushai's sheep, because that's what we're here to do. We're commanded to feed Yahushai's sheep. We're not commanded to debate one another and then the sheep get to click the video and just watch and listen. Like Celie when she was watching Danny Glover throw all the firewood in the stove. All right. So Adon Ratazah, you brothers and sisters, was edified through the Spirit. I just want to say, call halal, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my elders, bishops, and apostles of Great Millstone that do well. And with that being said, shalom.